Welcome to Good Data's webinar, The Future of Analytics, Business, and Location Insights. I'm Valerie Chen, Marketing Manager at Good Data. Let's go over some logistics. All attendees are muted upon entry. As you come up with questions, please submit them in the Q&A box within Zoom. We'll address them at the end of the presentation. After the webinar, we will share a follow-up email with the recording. At Good Data, our global company delivers growth through analytics. Our robust dashboards, custom insights, and unmatched governance options have helped over 140,000 of the world's top businesses deliver on their analytics goals. We have more than 350 employees, including 200 plus engineers. We're headquartered in San Francisco with additional offices around the world, and we are funded by companies including Visa, Intel Capital, Anderson Horowitz, and General Catalyst. CleverMaps is a map-based analytics platform transforming how the world uses data to solve location-related problems. Their Location Insights platform approaches the work with geographic information and location analysis from the business intelligence side. CleverMaps is built on the same principles as most BI tools. That's why CleverMaps can be integrated into an analytical ecosystem built, for example, with a Good Data cloud-native platform. Zidi Shaboda, SVP Product and co-founder of Good Data, and Andre Tomasz, CEO and co-founder of CleverMaps, are here to guide you through the webinar today. On the agenda is an introduction to Location Insights, a look at modern location insights, which is real-time, interactive, and consistent, a demo, and a Q&A with Zidi and Andre. So be sure to submit your questions in the Zoom Q&A box. Now I'll hand it over to Andre.
Okay, so let me continue with what location insights actually mean. With location insights, we actually mean the true location-based analytics, not just a simple map visualizations, which are often exchanged for what we call true location insights. So these go really beyond the simple visualizations, and they analyze both business and location data to actually give answers to spatial questions, to the business questions, and especially to give the business phenomena location context. So the question is, why would you actually need location insights? And the answer really is in the combination of the business data with the external data to gather that location context we were talking about. And there is a wide array of use cases. They really span from site selection and location planning to field sales management. All of these use cases, these are actually one of the most frequented use cases that are used and in location analytics and in location insights. And each of them really gives that business phenomena into the location context. So it's important to choose your branches or your shops based on the quality of locations. It's great if you can target your customers better based on geo principles and geo parameters, or how you measure your markets and for example, competition pressure. There's tons of it. It's actually better to have a look at it from the perspective of real customers and real use cases. I just mentioning a couple of them just to give you an overview of what we are doing and what we can bring. So one of the use cases is the work that we do for Erste. Erste is the biggest retail bank here in the CEE region in Europe. And they chose CleverMaps to really run continuous optimization of their branch network and their ATMs. The important thing is that it's continuous because out of the one-off projects, this really goes into continuous delivery of how you handle the whole branch network. Another one to mention is Rohlik. Rohlik is a super interesting company. It's one of the fastest growing grocery online supermarkets here in Europe. They recently become one of the unicorns companies. That means companies which extended $1 billion of valuation. And we are very proud of working with them. And they chose CleverMaps to actually work and to do the job to reduce their delayed orders, to keep the lower customer churn and have a higher efficiency of cars and drivers used. Another optimization case is, for example, Delivery Hero, which is again the biggest company doing the food deliveries around the world. And we were working with them to optimize special delivery zones for the restaurants, which actually improved in their sales and growth in some of the areas which before that, were stagnating. Another use case is the O2. O2 is a leading telco provider here in Europe. And the job that we are doing together is building a telco data monetization platform. So it's to monetize the detailed telco records to build special insights for retail, for their retail customers. And another use case is the job that we did now in the COVID times for the Czech government, and they chose CleverMaps to actually build a smart tracing system based on our platform. So what you can see is that the array of possibilities is very wide, and they always combine business data with location data. Let me hand over to Zidi for a while to get us through some of how modern location insights can work.
All right, thank you, Andre. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. I'm really excited that that CleverMaps decided to build their location insight platform on top of GoodData, on top of the newest thing that we just released and launched a couple months ago, and they are one of the first adopters. And I would like to back up a little bit here and give it a little bit more broader perspective. So because what CleverMaps is doing greatly fits into our strategy that we call headless BI. So if you look at the analytics today, the analytics is being consumed with many different ways, with many different interfaces, via many different tools, and that's exactly what we subscribe to and what we are providing to CleverMaps, what we are providing to all other companies. So essentially, people are using traditional dashboards, traditional ad hoc data discovery tools. They might use ours, they might use Excel, most frequently, obviously. They can use other desktop BI or desktop analytics tools like Power BI, like Tableau, like ClickView, or many others. Recently, we've seen people using notebooks for data science scripts and their data science models. People are also using Power Studios, for advanced data statistics and so on. And location insights particularly are very interesting. You will see in the demo that they are adding one very interesting aspect to all the analytics, and especially where things are happening. So you will see a nice combination, real-time consumption of the analytics with that kind of where aspect, and how flexible and interactive CleverMaps are. So really happy that CleverMaps decided to build it on top of our engine. So if you look at how many companies are dealing with delivering these different modalities of analytics, they are essentially using different platforms for different interfaces. So, for example, they use like dashboarding tools, they use GIS systems, they use notebooks, and so on. The drawback of this approach is that in many cases, those tools need to export data, from their data warehouses or data lakes or many different databases, and re-import it to those tools or platforms. So they end up with like different snapshots of data in different tools. And that's the kind of one of the reasons why they see inconsistencies. On top of that, they obviously have like different ways how to define the calculations or metrics or measures on top of these exported data. And again, it adds to that sad fact that they will end up with like simple KPIs as revenue or margin, or those like basic business parameters that are inconsistent. So they see different numbers, from different tools based, how they are consuming the analytics. This is actually for GIS, for geographical information systems. And Andre, I will ask Andre if you can move to the next slide. Thank you. So this is even worse. Actually, if you look at the traditional GIS workflow, and Andre, please feel free to jump in because I'm not really an expert in this. So you need to essentially export the business data. Sometimes you need a lot of demographic data that you are getting from open sources, or from you are purchasing those data from third parties. You need to combine this with the spatial data. You need to do those spatial ETL, like spatial calculations and things along these lines, geocoding and so on. And then you need to go through another phase. You need to perform the analytics, create some cubes, and the transform data. You need to kind of join these all the data with the layers because you need to be able to for visualization on the map. And then finally, you will load all that information into as pre-calculated data into your GIS system. So as you can see, it's quite cumbersome, long running, and certainly not a real-time process that you need to go through. And at the end, you will get some kind of rasterized images on the map that are not as interactive as you will see in the demos later today. So
let me just add here, sorry, Zdeněk, for interrupting. Don't get us wrong. I mean, GIS are great systems for what they were originally designed for. And the good point is that they were not designed for analytical purposes in the first run. They were designed for creating maps and map layers. And that's where they excel. But now with today's requirements for advanced and modern analytics, these systems simply are not optimized to deliver.
Yeah, so today you will see kind of a better way. So you will see how the location insights, as well as other systems as Excels and Tableaus and all notebooks and all these things I was talking about, can sit on top of some analytical layer, on top of something what we call semantic model, and on top of that we have well-defined measures, metrics that not only provide this consistency, so we can essentially, all the tools can consume the same numbers, and we are performing the same calculations on top of the real-time data. It also, allows for much better access management, governance, and all these other rules, that are really important for analytics. If you're running it in larger scopes, like if you're delivering it to all your partners, customers, or inside your corporation. So today we will essentially take a look how GoodData enables CleverMaps, the new very modern location insights platform, and provides all the kind of real-time capabilities, provide all the analytics calculations, and how CleverMaps use this for clever interactive geo location insights, that they are providing with their platform.
Yeah, and I have to add, this is a super exciting project that we did together, the proof of concept. The CleverMaps, of course, can run on its own as a standalone application, but combining it with the GoodData framework, with the GoodData.CN, it really just opens up the array of possibilities, and to combine with the GoodData capabilities, and to allow to build specialized systems, using components from the both sides, and be super efficient with really delivering the results. So this is this is how for us the modern location insights workflow looks like. It really is integrated into one environment, and it's super easy to use. It's totally open, and it's totally embeddable. So in the heart of the system, again, we have the spatial data model. That's the semantic model that CD was referring to, And just like in other business intelligence system, and in this case in good data, you simply define your metrics and indicators, and then you run the real-time analytics. So essentially, you are not having the data prep and visualizations and analytics disconnected. That all happens in one environment. The important thing to say is that in this environment, we are actually getting the tons of different external data sets into that same data model. So they don't sit, they don't sit independently somewhere. They are the part of the data model together with the business data. On the other side, we have that connectivity and embedding possibility to really embed it into third-party apps, into building websites, specialty applications, or connect to some established application providers. Just to give you an quick look on how it looks, and the difference between the analytical usage of GIS and the location intelligence in CleverMaps. Really, what you can see on the left is the raster pictures overlay. So you have that phenomena in the GIS put into raster pictures, which you overlay over some map layer, and then you simply have the two pictures overlaying each other. Whereas on the right hand side, we really have that real-time thing with whatever you do on the UI, you actually are accessing directly the database, and whatever you filter, that actually creates the SQLs directly to the database and gives you answer immediately. So this is how it looks, and there's no data prep and then analytics. It's all in ones, and it's used as in a usual business intelligence system. I mean, enough of I would say just talking around the principles. What we wanted to show you is the real demo. So let me get here into this public website, which we built and which you can access easily when you put accidents.clevermaps.io. So the principle of this project that we did with Good Data was really to utilize the GoodData.CN platform and to build a combined storytelling analytical website. In this case, we are describing what's happening with car accidents in San Francisco. So we built this analytical website with embedded videos and so on. But the important thing is the outputs which we put together are based on just one system, and that one semantic data model that we were talking about. So the first one is where the accidents actually happen. So we can see the zip codes here, and this component comes from Good Data. And as you scroll down, you have the same view already in CleverMaps, and here you see the same thing, the same number of accidents, the same metrics here, but in a location context. So here we see where the things are happening. So now we see these two zip codes that we were talking about are the zip codes that we saw on the previous chart, and we have a lot of other information, such as let me show you the number of accidents as a metric, and let's see the time series, so we can see when the accidents are actually happening. We can see what they are causing, if long delay, short delay, etc. We can see if something was nearby, so we're checking whether traffic lights were involved or junctions. So we can see no reported is the high section, but junctions seem to be important. Then we can see, how it spans over the days of the week, and then, the time, so we can see the peaks in the morning, and then in the afternoon and the evening, the types of roads, and etc. Another thing which came out was actually if some physical phenomena has an impact on the accidents, and we can see that humidity seems like a big problem over here. So then we follow on with the causes of traffic accidents and the severity, and this is a nice example. I have this part comes from GoodData, the pie chart. This part comes from CleverMaps. It's seamlessly integrated. It even has the same color schemes. Basically, they both sit on top of the same data warehouse, showing the same data, and the same metric is displayed in the GoodData as well as in CleverMaps. So if we follow on and check the weather conditions, we kind of drill down into the problem that we are looking at. And here we can see a couple plot charts, correlation plot charts from GoodData. This is the visibility. So, this distribution doesn't seem to correlate too well. But this one is, again, the humidity. So we can see that the, correlation here is strong. So going down again into the same problem, the humidity causing car accidents, we can actually see where those things are happening. If we only choose and pick the areas with like really high humidity, so that's 60% humidity up, we can see where these are happening. And if we have a look on the ranks, let me show it up, we can see that this is a little junction here that seems interesting. So if we really want to check where this is happening, let's switch here to satellite imagery to see where it is. And if we want to check how that looks in that place particularly, let's have a look into Google Street View, and we can see really that exact place where the things is happening. So what we are seeing here is a curve on the highway or highway connection. There is actually a bridge and there is a junction. If it actually really corresponds to what we saw before in the data, but now in real terms we can see how it probably looks like. So when it is wet in San Francisco, these areas seem to be like extra dangerous, and they really cause they are the cause of those problems. If we have a look on another suspicious road segment, north of South Beach, again, we can have a look here on that segment. Let me check when it comes up. So this is again the junction, very complicated junction. If we only filter that segment combined with the satellite imagery, and we use the heat map, we really can see the spot. And again, you can see the spot. It's the junction spot. Again, it's a combination of a highway connection, and again, it's combined with a bridge. So we already can see some results, and we can understand why the things are happening there, and why is it so important. That really is how you can utilize and how you can combine different different widgets, different parts, different graphs, different types of visualizations, and really get that context to the data. Because again, yes, we had that correlation here. Yes, we had that. Yes, we had that pie charts of what types of accidents are happening, but really having the possibility to have a look into this and to see where the things are happening, see it in the real in the real pictures. That helps you to understand why things are happening this way. So that's about it. That's the live example. Zidi, did you want to add anything?
Oh, just I just wanted to mention that all these measures, that all the numbers that you see here, they are calculated in real time. Those are the same numbers, that you can see through any other interface, any other tool that I was talking about. So everything is done in real time by the GoodData engine.
Yeah, exactly. In this particular case, we really we utilized just one data warehouse, so the data is not replicated. It sits in the GoodData platform. The data model is defined there, and then we combined the data model with the location-based data. With the data about the road segments. Obviously about the weather, about the humidity, about the traffic, about the points of interest, and so on and so on. So that gives you this all these abilities. And I have to say that of course we were scared at the beginning a little bit. It's always when you start working with the new technology, but it really was a straightforward process, and it proved to be actually pretty fast and efficient. And we were amazed what we could build in a very short time, and how powerful the outputs are, and interactive as well at the same time. Good. So again, I encourage everybody, to just have a look at their websites, accidents.clevermaps.io, and just use it by yourself. Go through that. It's publicly available website, and you can just see it, on your own and try it on your own. So to wrap it up and to summarize, the main differences that we were trying to address in this proof of concept project. First of all, it's implementation time. We know, different types of systems, and we are obviously active in many integrations, and it's always difficult anyway. It always takes time. The MVP that we built here was, it took us 9 weeks in which we were mainly just, it was time to get to know the technology and so on, and really was very agile and very straightforward. Whereas if you were to build this utilizing some business intelligence system combined with GIS, it would take much longer, and you would never be able to get this type of result. Another thing is the cost of ownership, because what we built here was really, that's an very open integration where it's easy to use system. As you could see, it was quite simple clicking, just as you are used to in normal websites or in modern business intelligence systems such as GoodData. It's really business user friendly thing, so you don't have to be scared by how the users would be utilizing such a website. So with GIS, this would not be really possible. You cannot get that level of easiness and interactivity. And of course, it's completely different ecosystem. So you would also have to utilize, different skills, different people, and so on. the consistency is the great thing here. It's really the easiness of just one data warehouse, one data model, one metrics definition that makes this super easy and super consistent. And again, the easiness of use are already mentioned a couple times, but it's not only easy for the, of course, for the final end user of the website, but also from the building perspective. So from the software development side, where you are really, for example, preparing that that storytelling analytical website, it really simplifies the whole thing, and it's very straightforward, and it's very convenient. So that's what we were trying to address, and we addressed it, and we were super happy with the results and how it went. So thank you, GoodData, for the cooperation, and we're sure we'll continue utilizing both platforms together. Okay, so for the any one of you who want to try out CleverMaps, this is the free trial, so you can just hop on our website, CleverMaps.io, free trial. You can also use the accidents.clevermaps.io public project to see how it looks embedded and utilizing GoodData.CN platform. So more than happy to welcome you on our board and on our website and in our location insights platform.
All right, so thank you, Andre, for all these nice words. So let me just take a little bit deeper look at what enables this from the analytics perspective. And I truly believe, when I saw this for the first time, I truly think this is how the GIS should look in 21st century. So very interactive, very easy to use, and also like very fast implementation. I would like to emphasize that. So in the heart of the thing, from the analytics perspective, there is the analytics engine that we call GoodData.CN, and CleverMaps were one of the first early adopters, and they helped us to fine-tune the interface of GoodData.CN. Andre, can I ask you to move one slide further? Thanks. So essentially, this is this analytical engine. We first released this in March. We already have quite a few paying customers for this. So we are excited about the success of this component. It's obviously built on our heritage. So the analytical engine and many other components are taken from our platform that has more than 2 million users these days. And we just enabled this as a component, that you can use in your applications, that you can deploy flexibly to your environment. So that's the first time when GoodData can be installed in either in private clouds like AWS, like Azure, like Google Cloud, or inside your private data centers. So and you can essentially move all the functionality and all the powerful analytics to close to your data. So if you look at what CleverMaps is using and how they are benefiting from many different capabilities, they obviously can connect to many different sources. So if it's like SQL data warehouses, like Snowflake, like BigQuery, like Redshift, you name it, through like NoSQL streams and other data sources as well. It's very open, so everything is, we are API first, so we essentially have API for every single thing that this platform can do. So it can be very nicely and seamlessly integrated into your applications in the same way as you saw it in CleverMaps. You also saw some examples of our composable UI. So we are exposing our UI as obviously the visual tools as dashboards, but in the first place as a reusable React or Vue components. So all these things can be easily embedded into your existing applications. They are responsive. They fit those modern UI development frameworks. Also, we all want to, we do not want to just build the applications that that can't be upgraded, that can't be versioned. So the GoodData.CN has many continuous integration and continuous delivery capabilities. So it will not only fit your application, it will also fit your delivery process. So can be integrated with GitLab, Travis, or any continuous integration infrastructures. You can essentially release this thing, analytics, as a part of your application in the same release cycle. Multi-tenancy, ability to deliver this to many different groups, user groups, organizations, internal, external departments, and granularly control access to data and what insights, and also scaling, in the environments where you have like thousands of tens of thousands of these tenants. That's again the value that we provide historically in our platform, and we also spend quite a lot of efforts implementing it in this new option. And obviously it fits from the user management perspective. So it's integrated with OAuth and with the authentication systems that you have in your applications. So I would really encourage you to take a look at this component, and I think it can easily become the analytics heart of your application. As Andrzej said, this is very easy to implement this and adopt this as a component. And I believe that it can work the same way, for you as for the location insights. So if you want to take a look at this, you can download this for free. The development is completely for free, so it's as simple as just running this single command. So this one-liner will bring the analytical GoodData analytical engine to the computers of your developers, and they can start evaluating it, and later they can start implementing the analytical capabilities of your application on top of GoodData. By the way, this thing contains all the bells and whistles. It's not limited in any way. It's used for development purposes and testing purposes. And once you have something reasonable, you can also deploy to production for free. So you can use it with many open source databases, and you can deploy on top of Kubernetes. You can deploy to your Azure, to your AWS or GCP as a free service. So I would really encourage you to not only download the software, evaluate it, but also take a look at our university, at our support community, where you can ask any technical question. In university, there are already 5 courses that will get you started on this technology. All right, that's thank you for your attention. And then Valerie, let's go to the Q&A.
Thank you, Zidi and Andre. That was great. So we have about 7 minutes for questions. Let's get started. The first one is, how can location insights help us to identify our best customers?
Okay, that's probably a question for me, or I can answer it. Actually, it is exactly that thing with location context I was speaking about. So in traditional business intelligence, you really you identify the best customers by, for example, lifetime value or profitability, and that's it. Now, if you combine that with location insights, you would be looking at where do actually the people with highest lifetime value live? What kind of neighborhood is it? Do they own 1 or 2 houses? What type of houses? Are they concentrated in some areas more than in others? Again, and tons of other contexts. So really, that brings that identification to the next level.
Thank you, Andre. What are the benefits of a semantic model rather than just using SQL?
Yeah, actually, the semantic model, first and foremost, it's integrated with all these different applications. So the visualization and access from people who do not know SQL or who have a hard time to learn SQL. So I think can be nicely visual and so on. But besides this, the semantic model is those measures or metrics inside the semantic model are reusable, meaning that with just 3 metrics, you can reuse them across many different visualizations and many different maps. So with like handful of metrics, you can generate all your reports or your insights or your dashboards. So there is a great level of reusability. Also for your business users, those measures are composable. That means that they can actually create, a simple expression, they can create their own measures, from the existing measures. So there is a great deal of self-service for just regular mortals. And one of additional benefits that I would mention is that it's actually much stable. So even if you completely refactor the database underneath the logical model, it doesn't have effect to all these reports that you already have and that your customers created in self-service. So it's much more stable, and you will save yourself from a lot of refactoring.
All right, another question for you, Ziti. Does GoodData offer any data visualizations, or is it just a layer between analytics and visualizations?
Yeah, you actually saw that, Andre was talking about this. So, many of these embedded analytics, these correlations, for example, if you remember, those were the data visualizations. And again, I was also talking about this, they come in form of the React or Vue components, and they are very easily embeddable, integratable into your applications. So yes, we do have this, again, composable layer of visualizations as well. We can embed individual insights, whole dashboards. We can embed even all those tools that people use for creating them.
Great. I think the next few questions are for Andre. What embedding options exist for CleverMaps?
I think that we go pretty similar route as GoodData in this sense. Like we strive for great embedding options, so you can really embed. Either just utilize the backend and just compute something on the backend, just display the result in a number, for example, or a fact. Or obviously you can embed the visualization part, so the maps that you are seeing, the different parts of graphs, time series, and so on. So different components. And you can embed it into a third-party system or a website that you are building. We really strive to be as much open to embedding as possible. You can also do different coloring and skins and really make it a full OEM type of application.
Another question: how important is it to achieve real time when we talk about location insights?
Well, in terms of the location analytics, I really think that we are changing the game here. It's we're completely transforming that workflow. With the architecture that we showed today in practical terms, that's a game changer. So there's not anymore the data preparation, the aggregation layers prep, and then the visualization, then back and forth, 4 steps there, 4 steps back. It all happens in one environment. So whatever you do, on that, as I was clicking on the front end, that was virtually looking directly to the database, to the data model, and that was really doing the questions, the SQL questions to the database, and it was giving you the answers in real time. So that's massive.
Are there any self-service capabilities in the CleverMaps platform?
Yes, yes, there are. You can either utilize our shell tool to build projects from scratch, but there's lots to be done directly from the UI. So you can build and change metrics from the UI. You can change the color schemes. You can change the graphical interpretation. You can export the data. You can access the data model. You can import the data into the data model, and so on and so on. So there is a lot to be done. And yeah, and what we do is that we really combine all these functionalities into templates. And so that you don't have to build those use cases from scratch. So the use cases we were talking about, they're already pre-built in templates, and you just change you just load your data in and off you go. One of the things to be mentioned here, we really plan to do combined templates utilizing both CleverMaps and good data technology. So that you could build projects like you just seen, and that I think will again streamline that building process even further.
All right, we have time for one more question. How can we get CleverMaps and good data in a bundle?
Well, exactly in that template, for example, that's one of the options, and we will have to think more about this. It's relatively new to us, so the template will definitely be a bundle, because in that template you'll be utilizing both technologies together, and you wouldn't really care which part is which. It really works then seamlessly together.
In the first place, the good data is already embedded, in the CleverMaps, so we will get all the capabilities. Perhaps, we might think about like how to better expose good data through other interfaces as well. So that might be the next development that we do together.
Wonderful. So that's all the time we have for today. Again, we invite you to try location insights with CleverMaps as well as Good Data Cloud Native, both for free. And please reach out to the Good Data team if you have any questions. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you, Andre and Ziti.